Have a nice day to one and all. Today we are going to see 9th standard science unit 17 animal kingdom. What we have seen in the last classes: classification of living organisms, 5 kingdom classification, taxonomy. Taxonomy is also known as linear system of classification. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Binomial nomenclature, basis for classification. Level of organization, symmetry, gem layers, coelom. Animal kingdom is further divided into 2 groups based on the presence or absence of notochord. Notochord in Tamil, Mudugu non. Notochord is a rod-like structure formed on the mid-dorsal side, that is back side of the body during embryonic development. Notochord is a rod-like structure present in the back side of an organism. Whatever the organism will have the notochord, they comes under chordates. So, the animals which possess notochord or backbone are called as chordates. Animals which do not possess notochord or backbone are called as invertebrates or non-chordates. The chordates are further divided into prochordata and vertebrata. Chordates having backbone, they are divided into 2 types, prochordata and vertebrata. What is the difference between prochordata and vertebrata is both have backbone, but in prochordates they have simpler type. In vertebrata, the backbone is highly developed stage. The notochord later on develop into vertebral column. In the earlier stage, an organism has notochord. It develops into mature stage as vertebral column. So, the notochord present in an early stage develops into vertebral column in adult stage. Except primitive forms in which the notochord persists throughout life in all other animals, it is replaced by a backbone. The vertebral column gives support to a skeleton of an organism. An embryo develops into a small baby. The notochord also develops to form vertebral column in adult stage. In this class, we are going to discuss about invertebrata. Invertebrates are classified into 9 phyla. Phyla is a plural form. Phylum is a singular form. Totally there are 10 phyla. 10th phyla is chordates. Rest 9 phyla are invertebrates. How we are going to classify the different phyla? Depend on level of organization, whether it is cellular level or tissue organ or organ system level. Coelom, that is acoelomate, coelomate and pseudocoelomate. Symmetry, radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry and asymmetry. Then segmentation, presence or absence of notochord. Taking everything together, we will try to classify the kingdom Animalia. So, the kingdom Animalia is divided into presence or absence of notochord, invertebrata and chordata. In this class, we are going to discuss about only invertebrata with 9 phyla. What are they? Porifera, Coelenterata are also called as Cnidaria. Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, hemichordata. Some animals having cellular grade of organization. So the animals are in separate phyla, that is called porifera. There are asymmetry and no coelomic fluid and coelomic cavity. So they are acoelomates. No symmetry also. So they are in different phylum called porifera, pore bearers. Then next phylum Coelenterata. They have radially symmetry and tissue grade of organization, diploblastic. So they are in phylum Coelenterata. Next phylum Platyhelminthes. They are flatworms. They are acoelomate, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic. Next phylum Ascahelminthes. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and pseudocoelomate. So they are in phylum Ascahelminthes, roundworms. Next phylum Annelida. They have segmented body. So they are in phylum Annelids, segmented worms. Next, based on segmentation, the different phyla is there. Arthropoda, animals with jointed legs. Arthropoda is the largest phylum of animal kingdom also. It is bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomate animals. Annelida onwards, remaining phylums all are coelomates only. Then mollusca are soft-bodied organisms and echinodermata are spiny skinned organisms. Phylum hemichordata. They have non-chordate and chordate features together. So it is known as hemichordata. So there were some improvement in each phylum. We are going to discuss. Invertebrata. Invertebrata are the animals which do not have backbone. Invertebrata, they are divided into 9 phylum: Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Ascahelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. You should not change the phylum. It should be in order, like Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Ascahelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. Let us move on the first phylum, Porifera. Porifera is a Latin word. Pori comes from pores. So they have pores all over the body. So the animals come under this phylum Porifera are also called as pore bearers. Porifera are the most primitive form of organisms. Have you ever seen these animals? No, they are exist in marine conditions only. So many of us do not see it in our day-to-day life. Organisms with holes all over their body, and that's why they got their name Porifera. If you look at the picture very closely, you will see small and many pores all over the body. Their body is nothing but aggregates of cells. Porifera are the animals which have multicellular, that is many cells in their body. Non-motile aquatic organisms. They do not move from place to place. Commonly called as sponges. Main example of Porifera is sponges. The name is sponges, but it won't be like sponges. It is very hard structure. They exhibit cellular grade of organization. It is the main thing. Phylum Porifera have cellular grade of organization only. Their body is made up of only cells. They do not have tissue or organ systems in their body. That is called cellular grade of organization. Body is perforated with many pores called ostia. That is, body is covered by many pores. The pores are called ostia. Water enters into the body through this ostia and leads to a canal system. Food and oxygen are transported through this ostia. This forms the canal system. Canal system is a tube-like structure. Using the canal system, water and food enter and exist into the body. Body of Porifera. A canal system circulates water throughout the body and carries food and oxygen. The body wall contains spicules which form the skeletal framework. Spicules give support to the body of the organism. Reproduction is by both asexual and sexual methods. In asexual reproduction, fragmentation takes place. Parent break into multiple pieces. Each piece develop into new organism. In sexual methods, two gametes fuse together to form a new organism. In phylum Porifera, there is no symmetry and no xylem because they have a cellular grade of organization. Example, Euplectella and Cycon. Now, let us move on. Next phylum, Coelenterata. Coelen is a Latin name which refers hollow. So, coelenterates are the animals which have hollow body cavity, hollow intestinal creatures. Coelenterates are aquatic organisms, mostly marine and few freshwater forms. Marine means seawater. They are multicellular. They have more number of cells in their body. Radially symmetrical animals. What is meant by radially symmetrical? If we cut the organism in any of a side, it is used to give equal halves. That is called radially symmetrical. With tissue grade of organization. In Porifera, they exhibit only cellular grade of organization. Here, coelenterates have tissue grade of organization. What is meant by tissue? The group of cells form a tissue. Coelenterates are acoelomates. They do not have a body cavity. They have hollow body cavity. That is from where they get the name Coelenterata. Coelenterata is also known as Cnidaria. Cnidaria, C silent, CNIDARIA. In Coelenterata, O silent, COELENTERATA. Coelenterates have better body differentiation than Porifera. Porifera விட Coelenterata அதோட பாடியில் கொஞ்சம் டெவலப்மெண்ட் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். As we go ahead, we will see complexity of organisms will keep on increasing. In Coelenterata, there are more number of cells. They perform specific function. That is why they have tissue level of organization. Body wall is diploblastic with two layers. The organisms with two gem layers, the ectoderm and the endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. In lower organisms, they have only two gem layers, that is, they are diploblastic animals. An outer ectoderm and inner mesoderm are separated by non-cellular jelly-like substance called mesoglea. Mesoglea give lot of flexibility to the animals. Flexibility means valayum tanmai, to bend. Look at the picture of hydra and jellyfish. There is a mesoglea present in between the ectoderm and inner mesoderm. Coelenterata has a central gastrovascular cavity called coelenteron, with the mouth surrounded by short tentacles. Gastrovascular cavity is a hollow cavity which is called coelenteron, with the mouth surrounded by short tentacles. Tentacles are very harmful. The tentacles bear stinging cells called cnidoblasts or nematocyst. The specialized stinging cells are present in tentacles and they are known as cnidoblasts. Because of their presence, they are also known as CNIDARIA. Cnidoblasts contain poison-filled nematocyst. Whenever this cnidoblast will come in contact with some other organism, the poison will act on that organism will die. Due to the presence of this poison-filled nematocyst, the cnidoblast help in catching the prey, and due to the presence of cnidoblast, coelenterates are also known as CNIDARIA. Many coelenterates exhibit polymorphism. In Tamil, pala uruva அமைப்பு, which is the variation in the structure and function. அமைப்புகள்லையும் அதோட பணிகள்லையும் நிறைய வேரியேஷன் ஒவ்வொரு இண்டிவிஜுவல்லையும் இருக்கும். They reproduce both asexually and sexually. Example, hydra, jellyfish, sea anemone and corals. What is polymorphism? Coelenterates exhibit polymorphism, which is the variation in the structure and function of the individuals of the same species. Let us move on the next phylum, Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes is a Latin word which means, platy means flat, helminthes means worms. Platyhelminthes is also known as flatworms. These are flat in structure. They have better body differentiation than coelenterates. Coelenterates விட கொஞ்சம் body developments platyhelminthesக்கு இருக்கும். Some organs are formed. It is little more advanced as compared as coelenterates. Example, hydra. Hydraல நம்ம எந்த ஆர்கன் சிஸ்டம் டெவலப்பும் நம்ம பார்க்கல. That is only tissue grade of organization. Here little more complexity. That means there are some organs which are little developed. Not all the organs, some organs. That is why it is should be organ level of organization. In the picture of liver fluke and tapeworm, we see eyes in it. In hydra, could you see anything like eyes? Nothing. So platyhelminthes are little advanced than coelenterates. Okay. Platyhelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical. What is bilaterally symmetrical? If the animal is cut through the central axis, we get two identical halves. They are bilaterally symmetrical. What are triploblastic animals? They have 3 layers. ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm during embryonic development. They are called triploblastic animals. Platyhelminthes are triploblastic animals and acoelomate animals. Acoelomate means they do not have body cavity. Without body cavity. Most of them are parasitic in nature. What is parasitic? The animals which depend on other animals for their food and nutrients is called parasitic. How do these animals get food from other animals? Suckers and hooks help the animal to attach itself to the body of the host. Suckers help the animal to suck the blood from the host, and hooks help the animal to attach its body to the host. Excretion occurs by specialized cells called flame cells. Flame cells help the animal to excrete the waste products from the body of the animal. These worms are hermaphrodites, having both male and female reproductive organs in a single individual. Example, liver fluke and tapeworm. Liver fluke and tapeworm are the worms present inside the intestine of human beings and animals. Platyhelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical. In case of coelenterates, they are radially symmetrical. The only phylum that comes under radially symmetrical is coelenterates. All other remaining phylums are bilaterally symmetrical only. In case of porifera, there is no coelom and symmetry. Some organs are formed in platyhelminthes. It is little more advanced as compared as coelenterates. In coelenterates, example hydra, could you see any organs like eyes? Nothing. But looking at the picture of liver fluke and tapeworm, you can see the eyes. That means there are some organs which are little developed. Not all the organs, some organs. That is why it should be organ level of organization. Let us now move on the phylum Aschelminthes. Asc in Latin word round. Helminthes means worms. So they are called as roundworms. Aschelminthes is also known as nematodes. Nematodes means thread-like worms. So Aschelminthes are roundworms. They are thread-like and their shape is very thin. Aschelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical. What is mean by bilaterally symmetrical? If we cut the organism into two, they used to give two identical halves, isn't it? That is called bilaterally symmetrical. Then triploblastic animals. If we see the cross section of animal, we have three gem layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Hence they are called triploblastic animals. The body cavity is a pseudocoelom. Those with false coelom, even though the true coelom is not present, but there is some coelom-like structures is present. So they are called pseudocoelom. They have simple type of organ system also. Respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, excretory system are also present, but they are in very simpler form. So they are called organ system grade of organization. They exist as free-living soil forms or as parasites. ஃப்ரீயாகவும் வாழக்கூடியது, sometimes it may be as parasite. ஒட்டுண்ணியாகவும் வாழக்கூடியது. The body is round and pointed at both the ends. Body shape ரவுண்டாக இருக்கும். மவுத் அண்ட் ஆனஸில் மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் பாயிண்டடாக இருக்கும். It is unsegmented and covered by thin cuticle. The body is not segmented. The body is covered by thin cuticle. Cuticle is a waxy coating. Sexes are separate. The most common diseases caused by nematodes in human beings are Elephantiasis and Ascariasis. Wuchereria is a roundworm which causes a disease called Elephantiasis. And Ascaris is also a classical example of Ascahelminthes. It causes a disease called Ascariasis. Next, let us move on phylum Annelida. Let us see what are we going to talk about annelids. Annelids are segmented worms. The body from head to tail have segments. Hence they are called segmented worms. Can you understand what is segment? Look at the picture. We see linings. These are nothing but segments. The body is divided into small segments. Look at the picture of earthworm, nereis and leech. They have linings in their body. They are nothing but segments. The term Annelida comes from Latin word annulus, which means small ring or little ring. Hence they are named as annelids, Annelida. Annelids are bilaterally symmetrical. What is mean by bilaterally symmetrical? If we cut the organism through the central axis, we get two identical halves. That is called bilaterally symmetrical. And triploblastic. The body is made of three types of cells. That is gem layers. Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. That is called triploblastic. The first true coelomate animals. That is, they have true body cavity with the organ system grade of organization. Only periphery, they contain cellular level of organization. In case of Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes and Ascahelminthes, they have tissue level of organization. But in annelids, they have organ system grade of organization. Phylum Annelida irundhu dhaan organ system form ஆகும். Example, digestive system, excretory system, etc. Body is externally divided into segments called metamers. The segments க்கு பேரு metamers. And the segments ஒன்னொன்னு ring-like structureல form ஆகும். அதுக்கு பேரு தான் annuli. Body is externally divided into segments called metamers, joined by ring-like structures called annuli. It is covered by moist thin cuticle. The body full cuticle நால cover ஆயிருக்கு. Cuticle is a waxy coating. Setae and parapodia are locomotory organs which help the worms to move from one place to another. The mobility is because of the longitudinal and circular muscles present in them. Sexes may be separate or united. United means that is hermaphrodites. Both male and female reproductive organs in a single individual is called hermaphrodites. Annelids may be separate or hermaphrodites. Example, nereis, earthworm, leech and ragworm. Let us move on the next phylum, Arthropoda. Arthropoda is a Greek word. Arthro means jointed. Poda means legs or foot. So it is called Arthropoda, animals with jointed legs. You will be surprised to know that a huge number of species exist in this phylum Arthropoda. Nearly 1 million species exist in phylum Arthropoda. Arthropoda is the largest phylum of the animal kingdom. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomate animals. Bilaterally symmetrical means if we cut the organism, we get two identical halves. Then triploblastic, 3 layers are present in their body. Then coelomate, true body cavity. The body is divisible into head, thorax and abdomen. Head consists of sense organs like eyes, nose, ears and tongue. Thorax is the chest region and abdomen is the stomach region. The body is divided into segments. Each segment bears a pair of legs, that is jointed legs. The jointed legs help the animal to move quickly and easily to the places. What is the advantages of jointed legs means? Their locomotion comes easier. Exoskeleton is made of chitin and is shed periodically as the animal grows. Chitin is made of protein. It protects the animal and inner organs. Chitin is the outer layer made of proteins which act as extremely protective layer. Therefore, it helps the animal to protect even in extreme conditions. Chitin is the exoskeleton. It shed periodically as the animal grows. When the animal grows, the exoskeleton shed periodically. The casting off and regrowing of exoskeleton is called molting. Casting off means udirudal. Regrowing means again it will grow. Exoskeleton udirundu marudiyum அது develop ஆயிரும். This process is called molting. Molting is the unique feature present in arthropods. The body cavity of arthropod is filled with hemolymph, that means blood. The blood does not flow in blood vessels and circulates throughout the body. It is called open circulatory system. In open circulatory system, it doesn't have blood vessels at all. So arthropods have open circulatory system only. Respiration is through body surface. Gills are trachea. Trachea means air tubes. Gills are the respiratory organ in most aquatic forms. And trachea and lungs are the respiratory organs in most terrestrial forms of arthropods. Excretion occurs by Malpighian tubules or green glands. Malpighian tubules or green glands remove the waste products from the body of the animal. Sexes are separate. Male reproductive organs are present in male arthropods and female reproductive organs are present in female arthropods. That is called separate sexes. There are some categories of arthropods. First one is crustaceans. Crab and prawn comes under crustaceans. Second category is arachnids. Spider and scorpion comes under arachnids. Third, insects. Cockroach, butterfly comes under insects. Then another category is mediapods. Millipedes and centipedes comes under this category, mediapods. Here we have some examples of arthropods: prawn, iral, crab, nandu, cockroach, karapanpuchi, millipedes and centipedes, spider and scorpion. Millipedes in Tamil Maravattai, centipedes in Tamil Puran, scorpion tail, spider, silandi. Let us move on the next phylum, Mollusca. The word mollusk derived from Latin word mollis, which means soft. So, the phylum Mollusca is also known as soft-bodied animals. Mollusks have better body development than before the phylums we have seen so far. Mollusca are the second largest phylum in Animalia kingdom. They have more complex body differentiation than other phylums before we have seen. They have diversified group of animals living in marine, freshwater and terrestrial habitats. Terrestrial means living in land. Diversified means lot of variation present in this group. Body is bilaterally symmetrical, soft and without segmentation. Bilaterally symmetrical, the body is divided into two identical halves. They are very soft bodied organisms. Whole body is having lot of soft parts and without segmentation. There is no segments at all. The body is divided into head, muscular foot and visceral mass. The foot helps in locomotion. The foot is muscular and helps in movement. Head will consist of all sensory organs. Visceral mass in Tamil ul uruppu thogudi. There are different types of organs present inside the body of mollusca. Head, muscular foot and visceral mass are the main deficiencies in mollusca. The entire body is covered with fold of thin skin called mantle, which secretes outer hard calcareous shell. Calcareous means calcium content. The outer surface of the body is covered by calcareous shell. Respiration is through gills known as cnidia. C silent. CTENIDIA. Cnidia. Cnidia is the respiratory organ present in mollusca or lungs or both. Respiration is through gills, cnidia or lungs or both. Sexes are separate with larval stages during development. During development, larval stages are there. Example, garden snail and octopus. So, in mollusca, there are so many organs present inside the body. So, organ system level of organization is there. They have complete and distinct organ systems. Let us move on the next phylum, Echinodermata. Echinodermata is a Latin name. Echino means spine. Dermata means skin. So, Echinodermata is known as spiny skinned animals or spiny bodied animals. They have better body development than other phylums which we have seen so far. They are exclusively free-living marine animals. Only free-living marine animals, nowhere else. These are triploblastic and true coelomates with the organ system grade of organization. They have 3 gem layers during embryonic development and true body cavity and with organ system grade of organization. They have better body development with several organs. Adult animals are radially symmetrical, but larvae remain bilaterally symmetrical. That is one uniqueness in Echinodermata. the symmetry of the body changes as the larva grows into an adult. Body is bilaterally symmetrical in larva whereas radially symmetrical in adults. So the main thing is, if it is in larval stage, radial symmetry will be there, and in adult the body will be bilaterally symmetrical. Here it is totally different. In echinodermata, adults are radially symmetrical and larval stages are bilaterally symmetrical. A unique feature is the presence of fluid-filled water vascular system. Look at the picture of starfish. In the center of the starfish, there is ring canal. The water can enter into it and move on to other canals present in the arms and pass the water to all the parts of the body. The same way the water can exist and the same way water can enter. Such type of system is called water vascular system. Locomotion is affected by tube feet. Tube feet is the structure present in this animal which helps in respiration and locomotion. It performs multiple functions. It helps in locomotion, respiration, and it helps in capture the food. Body wall is covered with spiny hard calcareous ossicles. Ossicles are the hard structures. Example, starfish and sea urchin. Next, move on to the phylum Hemichordata. The name itself tells hemi means half. Chordata means chord. Whichever animals have notochord, they are called chordates, having backbone in their body. Hemichordates have half chordates, so they are called hemichordates. They have lot of similarities with chordates, but they are not chordates, they are only hemichordates. They are in between the chordates and non-chordates, so they are called semichordates also. That's why they were put in separate phylum called Hemichordata. Hemichordates are marine organisms with soft vermiform, that is worm-like structure, and unsegmented body. There is no segment in their body. They are bilaterally symmetrical, true coelomate animals with non-chordate and chordate features. They have the features in between non-chordates and chordates. They have gill slits but do not have notochord. Gill slit is the opening of gills. Notochord is a rod-like structure formed on the mid-dorsal side of the body during embryonic development. That is absent here. Hemichordates are ciliary feeders. They are having cilia. Using the cilia, water can enter inside their body and mostly remain as tuberculous forms. What is meant by tuberculous? Tube-like structure, because they are live in U-shaped tubes in sand or mud. Example, belanoglasses, also known as acorn worms. Belanoglasses is very common example of Hemichordata. Not too many common examples, very countable number of species only in Hemichordata. Do you know question given in your book, page number 203? Centipede in Tamil, Puran. Centipede means 100 legs. But most species have only 30 pairs. 30 pairs means 60 legs only. But centipede அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு meaning 100 legs. Then millipedes in Tamil, மரவட்டை, have 2 pairs of legs on each segment. ஒவ்வொரு segmentலையும் 2 pairs of legs இருக்கும். Millipede அப்படிங்கிற நேமுக்கு என்ன மீனிங் அப்படின்னா 1000 legs. But most millipedes have only about 100. ஆனால் பெரும்பாலான millipedesuக்கு 100 legs தான் இருக்கும். Do you know question? It is in page number 204. Octopus is the only invertebrate that is capable of emotion, empathy, cognitive function, self-awareness, personality, and even relationships with the humans. Octopus is an invertebrate. It has no backbone, that is capable of emotion. உணர்ச்சி அதிகமாக இருக்கக்கூடியது. எம்பதி, புரிந்து உணர்தல். தென் காக்னிட்டிவ் ஃபங்க்ஷன், அறிவாற்றல். செல்ஃப் அவேர்னஸ், தனித்தன்மை. பர்சனாலிட்டி, ஆளுமை. ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வித் தி ஹியூமன்ஸ், மனிதர்களுடன் தொடர்பு. Some speculate that without humans, octopus would eventually take our place as the dominant life form on earth. மனிதர்களுக்கு அடுத்தபடியாக இந்த பூமியை ஆதிக்கம் செலுத்தக்கூடிய கெப்பாசிட்டி ஆக்டோபஸுக்கு இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. Okay, this is the time for evaluation, children. What we have seen so far. Animal kingdom is further divided into two groups based on the presence or absence of notochord. Invertebrates and vertebrates. In invertebrates, there are different phylums. Phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Ascariasis, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, phylum Hemichordata. Here I give you 5 questions. You have to write answer for these questions in your note and submit on reopen day. Write the lesson name and date and write the answers very clearly. Keep on practicing because practice makes a man perfect. First question. Excretion in flatworms are dash cells. Second question. Dash is the largest phylum of animal kingdom. Third question. Malpighian tubules is also known as dash gland. Fourth question. Millipedes have dash pairs of legs. Fifth question. Dash is the only invertebrate that is capable of emotion. Be safe at home. Thank you.